Hej, vi er i London, og nu skal det handle om Hitman.
So if you've never played Hitman, this is a game where you play the world's best assassin, taking out the world's powerful targets and traveling the world doing so. And actually, the only mission we give people is go to this location and take out these targets and get away with. Everything else is up to your creativity, how you do it, how you approach it. We know that the kind of creativity Hitman encourages and perhaps also requires can be intimidating, especially to newcomers to the series. But what we introduce is a new feature that we call opportunities, and they are meant to help newcomers, but also people who might be intimidated by the sheer scope of the locations that we can pull off now. I mean, there are always thousands of ways to reach a target. That's the whole thing. It's about the creativity of the player and how they combine our gameplay systems. And we try to make sure to have 10 to 15 of these in each of the levels. And the opportunities is a system that gives you like breadcrumbs to identify them. It puts you in position of, well, opportunity. and then you can make your own decision how you execute that. However, we know that some of our fans might not like that or might not use it because hardcore fans never save the game. They always reload and they will always try to do it with a suit and a silent assassin. And that's completely fair, you don't have to use it. But when you're new, I hope this is something that will help you to understand how different Hitman is as a game. Because each level is like this big buffet, and we see opportunities as a guide to, okay, what kinds of things you could try. So the new Hitman game actually takes place in the overall Hitman universe after Absolution, with the exception of the prologue. The prologue takes you back 20 years, and the prologue is actually also going to be our beta, and it takes you back to the time when Agent 47 joins the agency and has his training and his graduation for the first time. And then after you have successfully managed your graduation hit, there are 2 hits in this initial training, then we take you to modern day Paris. And the actual setting of it, it's post-Absolution, but the stories are not heavily connected. So the game is not a reboot, but it's for sure a refresh, if you want to say that, because we are taking 47 back to his absolute prime. He's traveling the world to exotic locations, and his targets are the influential and powerful people that have their evil deeds going on. And that is, I would say, quite a difference to what we had in Absolution, which was more like a grindhouse road movie story. This one is about traveling the world, being the ultimate assassin, being hired to take out absolutely impossible targets. The long-term handler, Diana Burnwood, is on 47's side again, and he also has the resources of the ICA at his hand, which you will see when you use the preparations for the levels to load out, when you explore the maps, when you unlock and use your stash points and things like that. So what we decided is to simplify how we roll it out. The game is episodic in nature. That means we launch on March 11th, and then we add a new location and new content, major content each month. So in April we add Italy, in March we add Morocco, and then each month we add more stuff, including the ones we announced already, Thailand, US, Japan, and then we conclude the season in 2016 with Japan. So our promise, and we stick to that, there will be never any microtransactions or any additional DLC. So if you have the full experience, it's a full game and you get everything that comes with it. If you decide that you can't spend that much money from the get-go, or it's the first time you buy a Hitman game, or you're skeptic about the episodic release model, which we also understand some people are, then start with $15 intro pack on March 11th, and then you can decide either to upgrade after that, and then you get everything again, which is, you could call it season pass, we call it our upgrade pack, or you buy each of these episodes separately. And these are the offerings we have. You can also start a bit earlier in February, when we start on the 12th with the beta. But if you're a traditional player or a real traditionalist, you might also want to wait for the end of the year when everything ships on a disc. So it's like in the game, the choice is yours, how you want to enter it. So Force Contracts is back in the new Hitman game, also with a bigger and denser locations with 300 identities, 300 targets in each of the levels. We think that people will be very creative with it. But we also introduced new features like the escalation contracts that allow you to have shorter, easier contracts where you challenge each other, and they become harder whenever time you solve it by adding criteria, and this will be a race to the top. In the community, it's also kind of multiplayer, and the whole life aspect and leaderboards chasing elusive targets. So the elusive target is a target that appears in one of the Hitman locations, but only for 48 hours. And if you miss this time window in the real life, then the target is gone. They have own gameplay, own graphics, of course, no mission briefing, but you have only one chance to take them out. The moment you engage and kill them, that's how this target is killed. That's how it goes on your assassin record. You have no second try. If they escape, they escape. Then you have also lost them. And we think this is very close to the actual fantasy of being a hitman. And if the moment you pull that trigger, it will really feel very, very intense. That's what we're looking for. We know it's something that our fans will collect, playing everything as a silent assassin and as suit only. I think that's going to be an achievement. You also know it's not going to be the most casual feature we have in the game, but that's also what we want, because Hitman always has some really core challenges, and it also has some elements that are more easier to get into.
Det var, hvad vi kunne få lov til at hive ud om Hitman. Hvis I kunne lide det, så husk at skrive en kommentar, hvad I glæder jer til, og hvad I synes om Hitman. Og så ses vi næste gang.